Hey guys, so I wanted to take a look at a few of my hammerstones. I dug a handful out from my collection to look at the different materials and hardnesses and shapes and weights and sizes and all that good stuff. Um, so most of these are hard hammers, and they're either made out of quartzite or what I would consider like a granite, like these here. And the granite ones are really rough, and it's just a lot rougher grit and texture. So it seems that most of them are either in a disc shape or just round or kind of oblong egg shape. I'm sure there's a lot more out there that are odd shapes and stuff that we don't recognize when we see them in the fields and stuff. That probably have been used as hammers also, but these round ones are so obvious, they jump out at you. But some of the wear is pretty cool. This one here is kind of, you can really tell how they were using it, the side on an angle like that. I think Oscar's hammerstones kind of wear like that. His channel is called Napping Stuff. Not Napping Stuff. I think it's Napping Stuff. But and then Marty the other day, he was talking about how some of these hammerstones have lives. They start out as a big hammer, and then they'll work their way. Something like this might have been turned into a discoidal, or once they get smaller, they could even be turned into a game stone. So it's like that with a lot of these artifacts. Celts get turned into gorgets, turned into banner stones, and all these artifacts have lives. They were different things along the way. Most of them were, anyways. So the field I was at yesterday, this is kind of out of the norm for around here, but I found a few quartz, nice quality quartz flakes, and a little bit of debitage in that field. And then I find this core. You can see where they were knocking spalls off this thing. And this is a pretty decent quality quartz. I'm sure they were making points out of it. Oh, and then I find this thing not too far from where I found that in that same field. This is quartz also. This is a little more coarse grained. But I mean, it's still not horrible. I don't think I'd ever know that was that quality quartz from looking at the other side of this thing. But I'm trying to learn to recognize this stuff. But this is pretty impressive, right? So this is a giant flake scar where somebody popped a flake off there, and they hit that dude right on the end and peeled that flake off that whole side of that rock. That was pretty impressive. But yeah, so, okay, back to the hammerstones. I'm getting off track. Some of them are a little bit bigger size. I don't find them too awful much bigger than this around here, but this thing, you can see it was used all around the end there. Probably knocking spalls off. This is a really sweet little one here. This is a real soft hammer, soft sandstone. Almost reminds me of the consistency of an old red brick. Like, not the new ones, but the old ones. So that one's sandstone. This one here is sandstone too. See the wear around it. It's pretty soft. This one's pretty soft. And then this is like a quartzite. It's a hard hammer. A lot of times they put them little dimples in either side there. I think that's obviously for your fingers to grab. Give you a little grippage to prevent slippage. What else did I find? Oh, I found some real pretty slate yesterday. Look how pretty. I think this piece here, they might have rubbed on it some. I'm not real sure on that, but kind of looks that way. I might have polished it up just because it was so pretty. I found that one. I found this one. I find a lot of these pieces, so this stuff's mixed in with the glacial till around here, and you can walk the rivers and the creeks and find it. More so the rivers, if you want to find very much of it. But I don't think it's any accident that a lot of these things are in the shape and size roughly of, you know, gorgets and banner stones and celts and stuff, that it winds up in these campsites. You know, these guys probably picked this stuff up when they were out down at the river, and because it saved them some work, you know, wouldn't have to do too awful much to get this thing squared up and stuff. Same thing with the hammerstones. Sometimes I'll find these perfectly round quartzite pebbles and stuff right in the, you know, in the area of the camp or site I'm hunting in. And same thing, you know, if a flint knapper, when he sees a good hammerstone, he picks it up. So they were down at the river and seen these things and brought them back to camp and probably either put them in a cache or buried them, or buried them in a cache or made a pile or whatever. And when they left, it was time to leave. They didn't want the extra weight and just left them there, or lost them, or who knows. So anyways, thought it might be neat to look at some of the different textures of the stone and hardnesses and stuff. So hopefully that was helpful. I'll catch you guys on the next one.